there's not many things that I specifically say like black and brown people can point at and say that's ours, right? Like it's in this country.
Yeah.
There's not many like professions, that we could point at and say this is something that like we built and we control, like we are this, it doesn't work without us. And music is one of those things. And what I really, really, really stress to anybody that's really trying to get into it, understand that this is not a game. It is a business, and it is a real business, and it's a business structure. I know it looks fun when everybody's throwing up gang signs and having fun in the video and people pouring champagne on the ladies and they dancing in the pool. All that's cool. But there's a budget for that.
Facts,
You know what I'm saying? Like there's allocation of funds for that. You know what I mean? And those funds are spent to make more funding. So I really stress that, like, my advice to somebody that's trying to get in is that before you even get in, while it might be a dream and this is that and the third, you have to understand that this is a business. And one of the things that keeps business running is professionalism. I mean, being on time, doing your work, asking if more work needs to be done. You know what I'm saying? Like getting to the goal, and once you get to it, don't get married to the goal, work on the next one. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the biggest thing that's missing from hip hop culture is the yearning and the drive to understand the business.
Hey, wait. I know you want to watch this next video, but listen, if you are an entrepreneur, business coach, business consultant, or a small business owner who has a story and wants to learn how to create multiple streams of income from your story, I need you to text me right now, my book, to 646-687-4152. That is my personal number. I have been an author for over 12 years. I've written 10 books. 4 of them have been bestsellers, and I've sold over 100,000 books. But I've also helped a lot of my clients take their expertise and put it into a story, then create multiple streams of income from that. So I want to help you do the same thing. So text my book to 646-687-4152. All right, let's go back to the video.
Pay attention and listen, we about to teach class. Inside the vault, my man Ash Cash. So get your man right. Thursday nights, 8 p.m. you see him, change your life. Millionaire mindset, the best on earth. Blueprint of wealth, the knowledge network. So get it while you can, and he's standing right here. Just come inside the vault and see black millionaires. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Come inside the vault and see black millionaires. Oh yeah, oh yeah. You won't ask cash, you can catch it right here in the vault.
All right, so welcome to another awesome episode of Inside the Vault with Ash Cash, the greatest money mindset show on the planet. Listen, I'm excited about this interview because there's a lot of people that we call legends, that we call big homie, that we say is the GOAT. But when you are able to see something from the inception, and you see someone who has the impact, who has the experience, who's done so much. This is my brother. He is a living legend. I'm gonna tell you, y'all gonna see why. But he is a living legend in the game. I got my brother Wayno Clark in the building. What's up, brother?
What's the deal? What's the deal, Ash? Thank you, man. Thank you.
Man, I'm excited about this interview because, like, I feel like, so for a couple of reasons. Here's the first reason why I'm excited about this interview is because we've known each other over 20 years.
Right.
And I mean, first and foremost, man, when you think about the rap game, there's only 2 billionaires in the rap game, and Hov and Mr. Kanye West. And not everybody could say that they've worked with both before they was even,
Well, I didn't work with Hov before you. I can't put myself
there. So let me make sure I don't misspeak, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, you was in there in 98.
No. I got around Rockefeller around like 01.
Oh, well, okay.
Yeah,
okay,
around
right,
01.
okay.
Yeah, I was around there like 01.
Yeah. I'm excited, right? Because you've been around for a very long time in the music business.
Right.
You've done a lot in the music business. You're still doing a lot in the music business.
Right.
There's a transition into the media space and that influence there. But what excites me more importantly is that I know a lot of street guys, and they get the glorification from the streets always happens for people coming home, people who got bodies, people who were the kingpins, but the guys that's from the streets who have escaped all of that, and are doing things on a high level don't really get the flowers that they deserve. And so, you know, I want this interview to be about giving you your flowers.
Thank you.
So that people could know that, like, just because you are from the hood, because you were, you know, in the element, doesn't mean that you can't do phenomenal things. But before we get there, in your words, who is Wayno Clark?
Oh man, who is Wayno Clark? I'm a lot of things, man. I'm a father, I'm a husband, I'm a son, a brother. I look at myself as like now when I pop my shit to myself about myself, it's just that I look at myself as like an example, right? As an example, like a lot of the things that you said about me kind of define me, but like I really look at myself as an example. Like being from the hood, I didn't have a lot of representation I saw of what I could be, so I use my imagination a lot. You know what I'm saying? So what people can see me and like this ain't no secret. Like a lot of people think I just fell onto the earth when I started doing media or something. Like I could take people to every block I've ever lived on, every school I've ever went to, from elementary up until high school, the middle school, all of that. I could tell all my trials and tribulations, but to be able to see me, I try to be an example for the younger people, men and women, you know what I mean? Because when you growing up, you looking at shit to try to figure out what do you want to do in life. Right. And for me, I was Michael Jordan. Right. You know what I mean? And Kadeem Hardison. I wanted to be Kadeem Hardison. But honestly, I pride myself on being an example that young men and women could look at and be like, damn, he went through that, or like, you know, he lived here, like he's having these types of things that is on his mind, that's on my mind. I could do what he's doing, if not better. You know what I mean?
And so take us through your start in the music business, right? Because like you know, you don't have a college degree.
I don't have a high school degree.
Right, I'm about to say, right? You don't have a college degree. Don't have a high school diploma. But I think every person in the music business knows who Wayno is. Anybody on a high level, I mean, honestly, like there are people on a music tip that you've said you wasn't even working with them. You were like, oh, this person's a star, that person's a star. You might have posted them or whatever. And then I'm like, oh wow, this like this. I'm like, yo, this dude, like when some like Bobby Shmurda. You're the first person on everything. You posted a video of Bobby Shmurda, and I want to say he had maybe like 100,000, maybe less than that. It was
early because my friend from his neighborhood. One of my friends from his neighborhood.
And so I'm looking at that, and then you like, yo, this kid is a star, and then all of a sudden, I mean, you know, mega star. And so talk to us about like how'd you get into the music business, and how'd you get this ear for music to be able to tell who's a star, what's a star, you know?
Well, I take it all the way back to me being a child. Right? Like the first song I can remember like really hearing and learning was like Walk This Way or Run DMC and Aerosmith when I was little, and then like Salt and Pepper, Push It, like Video Music Box. You know what I mean? Like that was everything before MTV was around or Rap City. It was Video Music Box with DJ Marvin McDaniels. And like when I saw the movie Juice, my mom took me to see Juice when I was like around like 9. I wanted to be a DJ because of Q. You know what I mean? Like he was the coolest person in the movie. And then from there, it's like later on in life, like being in high school, I didn't know what the word career meant till I was in my 20s. Because I didn't like I had a few things that I went through as a child where we moved around in different places, and I didn't really have stability. So like I found my peace with music. You know what I mean? Like when I didn't have a Walkman, the way I would hear songs is I would just memorize the songs and sing them in my head to listen to them.
What's basically a Walkman for those who don't know?
Oh yeah.
My guy said Walkman.
If you're 20 years old, you probably never seen a Walkman before. You know what I mean? But you know, just listening to mixtapes, buying DJ Clue before DJ Clue was like the biggest thing. I mean, he was big, but like in the streets when I was a kid. My ear for music just came from my love for music. And like the way I got into music was, you remember when Magic Johnson Theater opened, right, in Harlem? I used to chill on 18th and Manhattan Ave, and everybody over there, when Backstage came out, everybody from the block, we all went over there to go see the movie. And when I saw it, I just like, of course, I knew who Jay-Z was and DMX, and because DMX was in Harlem all the time, and Redman and Method Man. But when I started seeing like Ty and Lenny S and Skane and like Murder, Ty-Ty's younger brother, all these people that's behind the scenes, like I felt like I looked like them, and I was like, damn, I wonder what they do. And I was like, I could be one of them, like, you know what I mean? So I was like, all right, that's when I made my decision that I wanted to be in music. And then ironically, like, you know, I had dropped out of high school in the 9th grade. I was going to GED school, and I was telling, me and my mom was joking about this the other day. I was telling her, like, it got to the point when I was in school, when they were, I don't know what happened with my mind, with my brain, but like when they would write work on, I couldn't, it's like they were speaking in another language. I couldn't even understand what they was trying to teach me. And I told my mother, I said, Ma, I don't know if it's something wrong with me, but I don't understand what they saying. So her whole thing was like, yo, if you're gonna be living in my house, you getting older now, you gotta, if you're not going to school, you gotta work. You gotta do something. And my mom, like, you know, she knew I was dibbling and dabbling in the streets and all that. She wanted to keep me from getting locked up, you know, getting killed. So she helped me get a job interview, and I get an interview at 825 8th Avenue Worldwide Plaza, where Rockefeller and Def Jam and Murder Inc. and all that is. I get the job, and I'm in that building. The same, everybody that was on backstage was in that building.
Wow.
And that's like, I feel like that's manifestation.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
But it's also like, it's a culmination of things, you know what I mean? But that's how I got my start, just being in the mailroom.
Yeah, and then so now you're in the mailroom. Take us through, you know, how do you get from the mailroom to now, you know, working, you know, in Rockefeller?
I mean, it was the most. So when I first got there, you know, they take you around and they showing you your route. Yeah. So my route, I had like the 20th floor is the royalty department, and then we go around and it was like all these red posters. I think this one Ja Rule had put out, like Pain is Love, and I see like these CDs on the wall and it say Irv Gotti and Chris Gotti and BJ and I was like, because I used to read all the credits, and I'm like, this the same people. I thought, like, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I mean, I didn't think I was being punk, but I was like, this not real. Like I didn't know that music, like rappers had labels. I didn't know none of that. So like I started asking the guy, like, at this time I'm 17. I'm like, yo, this the building where, and he like, yeah, like I'm bugging. Like I go home, the day I go home, I tell my mom, like, yo, Ma, watch, I don't know how, but I'm gonna get into it. And I mean, what helped me was I was the youngest person in the mailroom. All the guys that was in there was in their 20s, but I was like the youngest guy, and like I would Omi Ellie McIntosh, she ran Jay-Z's fan club, Fan Fam, and you know, this is when kids is writing letters like, yo, I would love to meet you, and sending letters, and she's sending T-shirts or sending merch items and all of that. And I would just help her after work with shipping, because I knew the shipping, it was my job. So I would do anything they asked me, like anything they asked, I was like, yo, I'll do whatever, I'll do anything it takes. And from there, I ended up getting fired from the mailroom. Oh, wow. Yeah. But the thing is this lady, my boss at the time, her name was Grace. And she used to tell me that I was never going to get a job up there. And I just was like, you being a grown woman, how could you tell a child that they would never do something? And I don't have, it's bad enough I don't have no academic education. You making me feel like shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you telling me I can't do something that my heart desires. So it burned me. I was like, I'm going to show her. I'm going to show, and then also my mom, as I was growing up, she always was telling me, like, I understood what the streets was. And I started getting in the streets when I was like 14. My mom was trying to send me down to live with my aunt in South Carolina and all that. And I knew that if I could do something to keep me out the streets and do something to make my mom happy, then I didn't have to go live in South Carolina. No disrespect to South Carolina, but I didn't want to go live with my aunt.
Respectfully,
right? You know what I mean? So I stopped, you know, the little gang banging stuff I was doing and little hustling stuff I was doing, and I locked in on working. I got fired from the mailroom, and then I had the relationship with people up at Rockefeller and Family Tree, which was the management company that had Outkast. I was really cool with them. I was cool with people at Murder Inc. I was the young kid, so everybody like kind of liked me because I was young. Like the older dudes, it was dudes in the mailroom that was rapping and shit. So they grown men, so they curving them, you know what I mean? But that's how I pretty much got myself in there.
And then so now you at Rockefeller. Tell us like because I know you've done some A&R, you know, within that. You know, how'd you get to that space?
So when I was working at, once I left the mailroom, I was working at a sneaker store around my block, and that didn't work out. And then I asked Shari Bryant. You know, she was the assistant to Carlene, who was Jay Damon's Big's assistant. I just called her one day and was like, yo, I'll whatever y'all need me to do, I don't care what it is. I want to try whatever I can can I come to the office? And she like, yeah. So I go to the office. I'm thinking immediately, I'm listening to beats, and then I was just sitting around and like somebody behind, yo, Beanie Siegel hungry, go to McDonald's. You know what I mean? Like young Chris, he wanted Bo Jackson. Here's the money, go pick him up from Foot Locker. But what I did was every time I had to do one of those things, of course I did it fast, but I would also like by the time I had to bring the food or the sneakers to the artist, like I would just talk to him a little bit. You know what I mean? And that led me, I said this on an interview I did before. One day I was just so bored, I seen Beanie Siegel's mother's name on a piece of paper. Like I had the paper with all these managers. So she was the manager for everybody in state property. So I was so bored and I didn't have nothing. I was like, what's the worst that could happen? I called her and I just told her that I was, working in the office, and I said, I'm a fan of them and I feel like they could be doing more. And then that led to like a 20-minute conversation. Wow. Like it could have went like, what? You called me? Boom, and then I'm fired. Yeah. She was like, yo, I feel like they could do more too. Yeah. Like they should be doing this, they should be doing that. And if you want to go to the studio, just let them know I told you to go. Yeah. But when I first started going to the studio, I got in trouble for that because I wasn't authorized through Shari. That's who I came through. You know what I mean? So I'm in the room and Jay and Dame and all types of people. And they looking like, who is this? Who the fuck is this kid just sitting in here? You know what I mean? But eventually, when I was called upon for me to do things, I prided myself on being resourceful. Yeah. Whatever you needed, I would do. So I just when you need beats, I would find the beats. I would listen to every CD in the office. I would go uptown. Remember Ali from Vaskins? I would go buy the mixtape, the CDs. Yeah, I don't know where Ali at, but shouts out to Ali, man. Yeah. But I would go get my the instrumentals and bring them down so they could do freestyles. Yeah. So that's what led me to like them giving me an A&R. Well, Big Face Gary, I got to give Big Face Gary his credit. One day I was sitting in the office not doing nothing. He told me come with him. And then he made me his assistant.
Hey, how you guys doing? Hold on, don't press that button because that's what I do every time I'm looking at an ad that I don't want to see. This ad just happened to be life-changing. I just happen to own one of the biggest home healthcare companies in the state of Georgia. I can help you create your own. Just to give you a little bit of insight, I send out registered nurses, LPNs, and CNAs to take care of people inside of the homes that cannot take care of themselves. But guess what? You don't have to have any medical background and you don't have to have any medical knowledge. So if you're wanting to change your life and you have a passion for actually taking care of people, then go ahead and sign up for Home Healthcare Blueprint. I'll see you guys later.
Wow. Yeah. And so, if I hear you correctly, man, there's a lot of parallels around relationships, around being of service. I think if you marry those two, right, would you say that has been the key to your success?
Absolutely, bro. Everything, people think that, and I don't want to like downplay myself. Yeah. But people think that like I was this person that had like this amazing master plan and it just went absolutely the way I wanted it to do, and that's not the case. Yeah. Everything that I've done over the past, I say more recently, like the past 7 years has been based on like me. I don't like the word humble a lot. I feel like the word humble is like a ceiling for people. Right. So I'll just say like, I'm trying to figure out how to word it. But whatever. I'll say that my personality, and because I'm able to build relationships and be resourceful, and I don't mind, like, I'm the guy who, like, when I played sports as a kid, I never started on a basketball team. Yeah. So when I learned that when I was young, like, when you come in, you're not coming in here to do all that shit you watching Michael Jordan do. Right. You come in here to do 1 or 2 things and then you out the game. Yeah. So I never mind being the person that can only do the 1 or 2 things. Yeah. So I adapted that into my business sense, and like I play my role. Yeah. And that's put me into an executive seat. That's put me into a seat on media. Like that's put me in. I didn't plan for this stuff. It's just like I'm going along and I'm like, wow, okay, I'll learn that once it comes. Yeah. You know?
And so run your resume real quick, right? So Triangle Offense, Dave East, Everyday Struggle, Amazon, right? Like and like yo, Foot Locker, you doing Foot Locker, like you doing a lot, bro.
Well, it goes in a kind of chronological order. Yeah. Like after Rockefeller split up, I went back to working a regular job. The only skill I had was mailroom, so I ended up in the mailroom at Pfizer. Then I ended up in the mailroom at Channel 11. Yeah. You know what I mean? after that, like I was trying to figure out what I was gonna do. I become a parent and all of that, and like I'm a young parent. I'm like, I care about I don't know how dudes don't take care of their kids. Exactly. So I'm like, I gotta provide for my family, and I'm just doing whatever. But I was trying to get back into music, and I couldn't. So I'm asking people, like, for not just for a job, but for opportunity again. And they like, I didn't know that it was like what you did yesterday.
Right.
I thought that because I was good for what I did 6 years ago, 5 years ago, that I would have merit today, but it didn't.
Yeah.
So I started my management company, Triangle Offense. My first clients was Buddha and Grand, some producers from the Bronx and Queens, and we started doing stuff. But I couldn't sell none of their beats because at this time it's like early 2010s. It's hard to sell beats. Like now we in the Dat Piff era where people just taking songs and just putting them out however. They're not clearing nothing. So we giving away 20 beats to sell one. Yeah. So I was like, yo, if I could find one artist that could rap over these beats, then I could make them money, I could make the artist money. So then I found Dave East, and I started managing him. And like year one, it was like I helped him A&R his project. He had it pretty much done, but I helped with a couple of things. Year two, we came to Atlanta and did the Gangsta Grills with DJ Drama. Went on tour. Year three, did the XXL Freshman, all of that, and then we signed the deal to change our lives, moves us out the hood. You know what I mean? And then from there, you know, Everyday Struggle came a little bit after. Bro, that happened.
Yeah, how did that happen? Cause like, you know,
I was watching Everyday Struggle every day when Joe was on it.
Yeah.
So what happened was, I grew up a fan of Star.
Yeah.
And Star replaced Joe. And me and Nadeska was cool because she had interviewed Dave when she was at MTV. So I keep relationships. Like I'm the person that like, and I'm not doing it because I want something. Right. I'm just I'm a human being. Like I was raised around love by my mother and my grandmother. So I'ma check on people if I like you. I'ma see how you doing. Whether you respond or not, I'ma just see what's up. Yeah. And her and Star was having like friction on the set. And she was talking her shit, and I was like, I texted her like, yo, talk it. And then she hit me like a week later and was like, yo, my fault, I didn't hit you back, but how you been? And I'm like, I'm cool, just figuring out, because at this time I'm not working with Dave anymore. So I'm like, she's like, what you doing? And I'm like, nothing much, you know. She was like, you should come and debate with us one day. I'm like, all right, cool. So I was building out my merch on Triangle Offense. So I was like, I'm just going there to talk and wear a hat. I went there and I never left. First day, they was like, would you come back? And I'm like, what you mean come back? Like, come back for what? And they like, would you audition? And I'm like, audition for what? Like, you want me to be on? And they like, yeah, we want you to be on the show. And I was like, growing up, I always wanted to be like a guy that nobody knew that was rich. Yeah. So like, at this time, I just was put in a position where I needed to make some money. Yeah. And I was like, yo, I just got to get on camera. Yeah. So I was like, let me get on camera and I'm going to talk the same way I talk on the block or the barbershop. You know what I mean? And that's what we did. Yeah,
and then so Everyday Struggle, 300 plus episodes.
Yeah, man, I did that for 3. I actually did the show longer than Joe Budden did the show.
Wow, yeah.
And then, you know, that finished, and I had met somebody from Amazon, my man Tim Henshaw. Yeah. I had met him at a Grammy party in LA, like 2019, January, and we just was talking, just what's up, like just talking. Getting cool with each other, and he's asking me if I had ideas for stuff, and I was sharing. And then like we just talked for a year, bro, just really talked. And then when Everyday Struggle was finishing, I told him, I'm like, yo, it's about to be a wrap, and he's like, all right, perfect, here go your contract.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And I didn't know that it was going to, I thought I was just going to be a correspondent doing interviews for them, like meantime and between time, and their vision for me was a little bit bigger. They was like, yo, we want to give you your own show, and I'm like, me? Like, you know what I mean? Like, word? Like, but I learned a lot from academics, though. Right. A lot of people might not like him or like his style of media, but he taught me a lot about the business, about how leveraging, how me being on that show with him, and, you know, take it, he like, yo, just take it and run with it. Yeah. And I did that from day, like, the moment I got in there, 2 months later, 3 months later, I was at Made in America, like, yo, this is Wayno here, you know what I mean? I'm at Made in America. Like, I never did that in my life. I'm like, so I'm just hustling, like, you know what I mean? Just... Yeah, I'm always moving to the next thing.
And how has media helped, or how have you been able to leverage media, right?
So everybody didn't know me.
Yeah.
So what media did for me was it was like it opened up the conversation, because I'm not trying to slight nobody in the media space. I feel like I'm in my own space. I like to compete, but I don't feel like I'm competing against nobody, because one of my friends told me, he's like, yo, you don't make viral content. You make like substance content. So like, because of where I come from, where we come from, we know how it is. Like, I'm not getting on no camera talking silly.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I was raised, like, even though, like, my wife from the West Side, you know what I mean? Like, I was raised around a lot of...
Salute to your wife.
Yeah, that's
West
a fact.
Side.
You know what I mean? She's from 480. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, I was raised around a lot of, like men who was, like, you know how 8th Ave was in the 90s, bro? Like, a lot of dudes getting... And I'm not talking about from the street level.
Right.
I seen... It was... Tyson Beckford used to chill on 133rd and 8th when I was a kid. And this dude that was his man used to throw block parties and I seen Big Russ with the barbershop and you know what I'm saying? So I was raised around men where I seen strong men that whenever I seen them open up their mouth, they wasn't disrespecting women, they wasn't talking crazy. So me getting on a camera, I'm not talking silly.
Right. Yeah.
So the media, once I started doing media, there's a lot of dudes that's like, whether they from the street or whether they in corporate, they was just like, yo, man, like, you feel real to us, you know what I mean? And I'm not a self-proclaimed real, none of that. Like I'm who my mother raised me to be. But like, it helped me in the sense of it brought me leverage to do other things. So it's like, I used 3 years of everyday struggle to leverage my Amazon deal. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm on Amazon and hopefully they treat me very good.
I'm about to say, because hold on, because I know, because look, I'm going to talk my ish for you, right? Hey, yo, you got a billboard in Times Square, fam.
Every episode that I've done, I've had
Yo,
a billboard.
listen, wait. My man don't got no college degree. My man ain't finished high school, dropped out in the 9th grade. We from the island of Manhattan.
Yes, we are.
And you got a billboard
in Times Square.
Every episode.
I got a billboard. I've had a billboard. Yeah. Man. What was really real eye opening for it was when my kids was down there. My kids like taped it, and my oldest daughter, she was like, "Y'all fathers ain't on no bill." You know what I mean? It's a good. I
just got goosebumps when you just go. My daughter 13, B.
Yeah.
I just got goosebumps just now when you said that, bro.
You know what it is though? It's like I understood like. I understood that the world wasn't about me. Yeah. I was the only child from my mother for 10 years until she had my sister. My dad, it's 8 of us from 8 different women. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But that's out the way though.
Yeah, I lost my pops last year.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I lost my pops last year. But the thing about my pops, what I learned from him was like, my pops he's a street dude and he's a hustler. And his whole thing was like, yo, just keep going, keep going. So even with like the billboards, that's cool. The views is cool. The interviews is cool. But like what I'm doing is I'm trying to. It's gonna be one day when I'm an older man. Yeah. So what I'm doing, I'm trying to position myself so that it's gonna be a day when I gotta it's not a secret. I gotta leave this earth.
Facts.
But when I do, I want my kids to be able to have that property, this property. That trust, so that their kids can be good. Like I want them to be like, yo, your grandfather was that. Like you know what I mean? That's what I'm 38. I'll be 39 in December. That's where my mind at right now. You feel me? So I'm not playing with this. Like, for real.
And so now, I mean, you even had executive positions within labels. Vice president. A&R.
I was vice president at Asylum. I was over there. If anybody's familiar with Sada Baby. We did the whole lot of Choppers record. I mean, we did a lot of work in between that. I signed a few acts over there, but the most successful record was the whole lot of Choppers with the Nicki remix. It went gold beginning this year. Hopefully it goes platinum. You know what I mean? That's my first plaque that I was able to, like, I was around for plaques at Rockefeller, but I didn't get the, you know how that goes.
Right. Yeah.
But that was my first plaque I did on my own, putting together a play with my brother Sada Baby, so I'm very grateful for that. You know what I mean? Really grateful for everybody at Asylum. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, I'm just working, man.
And so talk about some of them artists, because you still have artists now.
Yeah, right? Well, I mean, not so much. I got it's a few things I wish I could debut in here, but I can't. But there is a few things that I'm working on. I mean, I have another artist named D Munoz. He's over at Epic Records. He's a trying to go offense artist, very dope. He's from Bayonne, New Jersey. But right now, I've been really working on myself. You know what I mean? And you know, a lot of times when people don't see you, they think like, oh, he Hollywood and he this and he that. Dog. I just told you what my mindset. I don't know where everybody else's mindset at, but like I'm working on myself. I'm just trying to be a better man more than anything. So it's like that's where my mind is at. It's anything you do great. Bread comes with that. accolades come with that. I'm just focused on being great.
Yeah. And so what advice would you have for somebody, right? Who is trying to get into music, right? Who's trying to get into music, whether it's as an artist or even behind the scenes, because I feel like what you have done is shown, right? Like everybody want to be a rapper, everybody want to sing, everybody want to be an artist.
Yeah.
But in order to be an artist, there's a whole support system behind the artist, and there's money behind that. Like
tons of money.
Actually, could be more lucrative being behind the scenes than being in front of the
absolutely.
camera.
Yo, the thing is that there's not many things that I specifically say like black and brown people can point at and say that's ours, right? Like it's in this country. Yeah. There's not many like professions that we could point at and say this is something that like we built and we control, like we are this, it doesn't work without us. And music is one of those things. And what I really, really, really stress to anybody that's really trying to get into it, understand that this is not a game. It is a business, and it is a real business, and it's a business structure. Yeah. I know it looks fun when everybody's throwing up gang signs and having fun in the video and people pouring champagne on the ladies and they dancing in the pool. All that's cool. Yeah. But there's a budget for that.
Facts,
You know what I'm saying? Like there's allocation of funds for that. Yeah. You know what I mean? And those funds are spent to make more funding. So I really stress that like my advice to somebody that's trying to get in is that before you even get in, while it might be a dream and this is that and the third, you have to understand that this is a business. And one of the things that keeps business running is professionalism. I mean, being on time, doing your work, asking if more work needs to be done. You know what I'm saying? Like getting to the goal, and once you get to it, don't get married to the goal, work on the next one. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the biggest thing that's missing from hip hop culture is the yearning and the drive to understand the business. Now, everybody want money. Right. You know what I mean? Like you can make money doing anything. Like I mean, you hit your head on the wall in the wrong place, you want to make some money. Right. You know what I mean? But the real thing about music business is that it's music business. Right. Like nobody's not signing you because you have this sob story and they want to be your friend. No, they want to monetize. Yeah. It's no different than you going to college. College monetizes off of you being there too. Yeah. That tuition is paying somebody's salary. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So my biggest thing is that learn this business. Become a student of the game, hone in on your craft. If that craft may be management, that craft might be music, or that craft might be something you don't know what it is yet. Just jump in that pool and don't be scared. Yeah, you might get to the bottom, but you're gonna swim back up if you build for it. Right, and build relationships. Relationships is the most important. Yeah. I mean if you look at you look at. We talk like it's a finance show. Look at anybody who's rich, man. You look at I'm talking wealthy. Let's not say just wealthy people because we aspire. Rich is such a commonly used word because people get a couple of dollars and think they're rich. But wealthy. You look at everybody who's and I hate the thing that you can't get money with your friends or you can't get money with people you love. That's a misconception. You can. It's when people understand their roles. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like. If you're gonna take I don't care if you taking the last second shot as long as we win the game. Right. Now I'm gonna cheer you on. Yeah. Now the moment where you not cheering for the person taking the shot, that's when you got a problem. You feel me? But like, man, it's so important to understand that this is something that could really change everything around you. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And go ahead. No. Because one of the things that I appreciate about you is that because of your level of professionalism, because of your level of building relationships, you were not only able to monetize from a music perspective, brands are happy to connect with you. Like you had come on, bro. You had a Reebok deal. Well, no, so look, I was a brand ambassador for Reebok. Right. So I'm happy that you brought that back up. Yeah. So the thing is, this is what I learned with doing brands, right? When I was managing Dave East, they was paying us, brands was paying, like, I used to argue with Dave. He'll tell you if you ever interview him. He used to come to every show with his hat like this and his hoodie on his head. You couldn't see his face. Right. I'm comfortable with who I am. I'm like, yo, bro, you're not an ugly dude. Like show your face so that these ladies could see you, these dudes could understand who you is. Like, show your face.
Yeah.
Once he started showing his face, and then my man who was a photographer, we just met him on the whim, like doing a little promo tour. He came around and started shooting pictures. It changed everything for us. Yeah. Yo, brands started paying us more money than we was making off of shows. Wow. I couldn't believe it. Wow. Like, I thought they was playing. Like, bro, a brand called us one day and was like, they was like, yeah, I relationships, but I was at something, somebody introduced me to somebody at New Balance. They like, yeah, we want Dave to wear this jacket and these shoes. We got a budget for it. Is that okay? I'm like, yeah. They like, is 30,000 enough? I said, yo, I put the phone, I was like, 30. We would have wore that shit if they would have gave it to us. Like, you feel me? Like, we'd have wore that shit anyway. Right. I said, yo, they gonna pay. And it's like, yeah, we just want them to post two pictures on Instagram. I was like, nah, bro. I thought, again, like how I was in the mirror, I'm like, they not about to pay. I didn't even negotiate it. I should have got, bro, we was getting like 10 bands a show at that time. So 10, I'm getting 2 bands, he getting 8. Yeah. My commission off the 30 was 6. Right. I'm like, yo, Ease, I was like, yo, I got 24 bands for you. All you gotta do is take 2 pictures. Yeah. He couldn't believe it. Right. So when we did it, it kind of set the standard. Cause once the brand seen that we did it, the brands knew what was up. Yeah. So they knew that they had to come correct. So it's like, all right, then Puma reaches out. You know what I mean? And we start building with Puma. Yeah. But then New Balances, we doing one-offs with New Balance, one-offs with Puma. Bro, I made more money in 1 year. We probably made more money off of 1 year between New Balance and Puma than we did doing shows. Wow. We made a lot of money because we got a Puma deal, all of that. Yeah. And so the thing that what a lot of people don't understand is the deliverables, the ask. Absolutely. Sometimes it's hard to get, I don't know why artists don't want to promote themselves. Yeah. So once I became media and I understood that business model and brands started coming to me, it's the best day. What? Yeah. Bro, the same, not the same exact brand, but I make rapper money doing stuff with brands. Facts. Yeah. So like the Foot Locker thing, like it wasn't, and it's not
that
just
was a big deal though. Like I almost shed a thug tear, you on the streets of Harlem.
Yeah. I did it on my block. I did on 19th and Lexington.
On 19th and Lex.
Yeah, it was freezing. Oh man, it was freezing that day.
Foot Locker, and when I saw that, I said, yo.
Yeah. So when I did the thing with Foot Locker, I mean, what had happened was I had already worked with what artists. A lot of artists don't realize is that like it pays to be good in those situations because they always gonna be good with the manager. Right. Yo, artists is a machine. Yeah. Bro, one bad summer and you're done. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like you would never you'd never work in this town again one bad summer. So the thing about it is that I had done work with another artist I had managed later on, TJ Porter, with Foot Locker, where we gave away 100 pairs of the Concord 11s when they retroed them with the 45 on the back to kids in Harlem. Again, I'm mixing and mingling with the people in the marketing at Foot Locker and all of that. See, when you're an artist, it pays to like, be cordial, be nice. When they ask you to post what you need to post, post it because they're gonna make sure the money is right. Right. The brands have money that they have to spend to promote their product, to promote what they're doing, to do cool stuff in the culture that keeps it moving. So once they started coming to me for it, like, yeah, Wayno, we would like a brand reached out to me recently, like a roll up. But I told them, I said, like, I appreciate y'all considering me, but I don't smoke. Right. So I'm not taking no bread to do something with your company when it don't represent. And I don't knock nobody who smoke, but that's not what I do. Yeah. So I don't want to misrepresent myself because down the line I'm not going to get the bread that I want from an iced tea company that I want because I did that. Yeah. So I mean, did stuff with Foot Locker. I did something with Foot Locker. I did stuff with Adidas and Foot Locker. I just had a mini series called Forum Fridays where I talked to creatives. You know what I mean? I did that. Shouts out to Camp Grizzly, that marketing company in Foot Locker. Y'all helped me a lot this summer. You feel me? So bro, it's a beautiful thing when you know how to work your space, when you know who you are and you're not trying to do nothing that you don't need to be doing and you could just get in and get out.
Yeah. No, I love that. And then so, we're I mean, I don't even know if we in a pandemic, we passed the pandemic, right?
We still in it, but
and so, there've been some people who have done well, and some people who are still trying to figure things out. Right. What advice would you give to an entrepreneur who's trying to figure out, how to make decisions during tough times?
I say trust your gut, trust your heart, but put people around you. If you're an entrepreneur, even if your vision is small, you might not even have the money to fund it, but just the ideas. Get people around you that believe in the vision. Because that's what I did when I built Triangle Offense. I didn't have, when I had Dave, people thought that I had like a crazy budget. They seeing us here. Bro, we was both in the I was living in Harlem River. And Dave was living in Ravenswood and Queens. We did not have no bread, but the thing about it was, I went to a director. I'm like, yo, this kid is gonna be one of them ones. Get with us. He believed. He made money out that situation. Produces. So I would say for entrepreneurs is like, put people around you that can like you might have the vision, but if the vision is the vehicle, you need gas, you need wheels, you need the right nuts and bolts on the vehicle so that this joint don't fall apart on the road. You need that, so you got to put that around you. You might be the drive, but you need all of those intricate parts that make it work. If you don't have that, then you know what I mean, 100% of zero is still zero.
Right, facts.
You feel me?
Yeah, I love that. And then what would you say to that person who has a 9-to-5 that wants to get into entrepreneurship, right? Because like you right now, full-time entrepreneur, you eat what you kill, right?
Absolutely.
And not everybody, you gotta have the right stomach for that.
Yeah,
you
do, yo.
And so you got somebody who got a 9-to-5 who wants to be an entrepreneur. What advice would you give them?
I would tell them, first off, you can't be scared. You can't be scared. You have to be comfortable with losing. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be comfortable with losing because you're going to lose. Yeah. It's inevitable. Right. You know what I mean? Like you look at anybody's win percentage, you see a lot. Whoever's the best winners got a lot of wins, but they got a lot of losses too. Yeah. So I would say that, like, if you have a 9-to-5, don't get discouraged by that. If depending on what 9-to-5 you win, learn a structure. You know what I mean? Learn a structure. Learn whatever structure that you can take and apply. I mean, I say this all the time, and it's not a bragging point. I learned structure by being in a gang. You know what I mean? I learned like how to take orders by being in a gang. This is the head dude. He's the big homie. Yeah. You follow this order, and even though it was something negative, I found my positive in that. Yeah. Like I learned how to structure how I wanted to build my business model with something positive. Yeah. So I would say, like, for a person that's working a 9-to-5 that wants to be an entrepreneur, plan your work and work your plan.
No, I love that. And so now, 38, about to be 39 years old.
A couple months, man.
You know what I mean? God's will.
Yep.
If you could go back and talk to 18-year-old Wayno, what advice do you give an 18-year-old Wayno?
I would tell... Because I'm thinking about myself at 18, bro. I was, what's crazy? Yeah. Today I just found a pair of sneakers from when I was 18. Yeah. That I still have.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, a pair of Jordan 1s that I got. Oh. So I would say, for 18-year-old Wayno, stop rushing, man. Yeah. You know what I mean? Remember how Nelly said, you ain't from Russia, so why you rushing? Right. Stop rushing, man. It's going to be all right. You know what I mean? It's going to be cool. Just pace yourself, man. Yeah. I mean, but it's also, you have people who do give out that advice. The thing about it is like, when you're young, it's hard to see next week, depending on how you living. Yeah. It's hard to see next week, so you thinking like everything is hit the lotto. Right, facts. Everything, I gotta hit the lotto. Like that's your mindset. It's like it gotta come, because if it don't, it's not gonna happen. Yeah. But just pace yourself, man. Like.
And what's the secret to that though, right? Because I have my secret. And we talked about this actually offline. I never really talked about my background and where I came from. So a lot of times when people see me. He was a banker for 15 years. Yo, he was a CEO of a credit union. Yo, he's a best-selling author. He's on television and all that.
No disrespect, but they try to paint you like a square.
Yo, facts.
Right? You're not no square.
And so for me, I kind of was like, you know what? Let me share my story.
Right.
Because I'm really from the block.
Yeah, that's a
really
fact.
From the block, right? And I've seen everything that anybody who has any street knowledge has seen and done. It's not easy.
Yeah, it's
right?
not.
But somebody who's watching right now, who is in that element, who's like, damn, y'all rock with Ash Cash, I rock with Wayno, y'all the blueprint, y'all doing it. What if how do you get them out of that?
All right, I would say that I had to stop adapting the mindset that life is short. Ooh. I had to stop adapting that mindset because I always made this joke, right? Like, people say life is short, but then you be like, man, I had a long day. I had a long week, but this month is taking forever. Yeah. But when tragedy strikes, we all know, life is short. Right. What I had to start thinking about is like, being here. Not like, when you, coming from the hood, because the hood is a mindset. It's not a place. Oh. It's not a place. That shit is a mindset, bro, because the same hood that I grew up on and I seen people have this, down the third, they put a Starbucks right there, they put another little coffee shop right there, and a dog park and a zip card so you can't park right there no more. And that same environment is not how it was. Yeah. But the mindset of the people still be the same in certain aspects. Yeah. So I had to get out of the mindset that like, because like, stop feeling sorry for myself. Like, don't get me wrong, like I tell my mom talk about all this stuff she wasn't able to do. I said, Mom, it's okay, we was poor. I understand. Yeah. You did your best. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But everything that you did by doing your best is why I am who I am today. Yeah. So what I had to do is stop feeling sorry for myself. Yeah. Start understanding that, like, even though something tragic might happen, that don't mean that's your fate. Yeah. You know what I mean? I don't mean that that's your path. Yeah. Start thinking forward. Start living forward. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I started to do. And even when it comes to finance, like, I had to learn a lot too, because a lot of that money, that was coming from nowhere. I blew a ton of bread. Ton of bread. I could have, like, I bought my first house this year, but I could have bought a house, 2 houses already. But it's a learning curve. So that, and I feel like the only way for us to get over that is like, just start understanding that even though we come from the hood and we love the hood, we love that mindset, because I still love the hood. Yeah. But that's not the only mindset that exists out here. Yeah. You can amplify that mindset. It's a lot of geniuses in the hood with that mentality, but if we get the right education, which education don't only come from a school system. Yeah. I'm very educated. Yeah. Now, when you start adding, it's like a recipe. You start, you know what I mean, you on the grill, you might try something new. Pour this on here and see what come out. Yeah. Now you got something different. You gotta start building new mentalities. Don't adapt that you can't have no friends unless it was your man from kindergarten. If your man from kindergarten is sitting around all day doing nothing, talking about one day, like, you know what I mean, ain't see no problem. You gotta, not saying that you gotta not mess with him, but you need some new friends, man. You need some people that can give you some perspective. So I say, just change your mindset. Your mindset is like almost like the food you put in your body, man. If you don't eat the right food, you gonna break down just like the wrong gas in the wrong car.
That's a bar. That's a bar. And so talk about money, right? Mm-hmm. So far, you know, with all the success and all these checks coming in, what's the most extravagant thing you've done with money so far?
Well, the most extravagant thing I've done with money so far, move out the projects. Yeah. Move out the projects and buy a home. Love it. Well, I moved out the projects and I rented for 5 years, then bought a home. Yeah. But I say that's the most extravagant. I don't, yo, bro. That's one thing. I got a business manager. Me and her was talking the other day. She's like, yo, you really don't spend, because I like simple stuff. Yeah. I'm a geek too. Like, I love Star Wars memorabilia. I buy the stuff I spend money on. People be like, you could buy that. Like, I'll spend $650 on a metal Iron Man helmet before I put it towards a new Rollie. Like, you know what I mean? Like, don't mean I love watches too. You know what I mean? But the most extravagant thing I've done is buy a home and renovating the home, which is that's oh my god, it look cool on HD. It's horrible, bro. Lord.
And so, what would you say is the most impactful thing you've done with money so far?
Be able to help my mother with anything she needs. Yeah. I mean, like my kids, you know, of course, family, immediate family, that's cool. But like being able to, like, my mom be like, I remember the first time my mom called me, like when I started making money like that, and she called me. It was this day I got the biggest check I ever got in my life, right? It was ridiculous, and like, I don't know if like it just the universe just brought everybody to me that day, but I felt so good. I gave everybody some. My mother called me like, I don't know how I'm gonna pay. I said, what? Huh? I went and seen my pops. I seen my pa. I gave him some money. He's like, damn, what's this? I said, I just made some bread. My little brother was there. I said, you need, huh? My assistant, huh? But I didn't go beyond my means though. Right. Yeah. See, everything I get, that's one thing I do with my money. I don't spend nothing I can't spend 10 times. Ooh. I don't spend my bread on like material stuff. Like anything that I buy though, like whatever it is that I buy, unless I could buy it like 10 times, I don't buy it. Cause I used to adapt that, like, you know, when you young, you hear Jada Kiss say, "Cop one for you and your man, so your shit's match." Like, I believe just buy 2, but I don't literally buy 2. I just adapt the mindset. Like, I can't afford this. If I want a pair of sneakers that's gonna cost me $250, I can't buy them unless I made like $5,000. Like if I made $5,000, I could spend $250 on a pair of sneakers, cause I'm tucking a lot of that. But I don't even touch that unless it's, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I love it. All right, so we're gonna do a speed round. All right, so the speed round, we take bank terms and we flip them for here inside the vault. And so the first term is deposit slip. And so a deposit slip is the slip that you use. You go to the bank, you fill it out, you put money inside the bank. But for us, inside the vault, deposit slip is a money mistake, a slip up. What would you say is the biggest deposit slip that you've made so far?
Spending before it got here.
Oh
man. you know something coming in, you see all them zeros, you like, oh yeah. Your business manager call you like, you know how much you owe the feds? Like, you don't want to do that. Like, make sure them people get their money so you stay out here and keep being able to get it. So I say that like spending before I got it. That's that hood young mindset. You know what I mean? Never seeing that you think I'm not never going to get this again or it's never going to happen. So I was like, I got to do it before. Like a volcano's going to erupt and destroy the world. Like, nah, bro, like chill. Just chill out. Like,
second word is charge off, right? So charge off. You borrow money from the bank, you don't pay it back. They try to kind of collect the money, but eventually they say, all right, you know what, I'm going to charge this off. Here inside the vault for charge off, it's people or mindsets that you had to charge off during your journey.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's a lot of people. Yeah, it's definitely a lot of people. I had to stop feeling like because I'm in a position that I worked for. That other people think is privilege, that I'm not responsible for your mishaps. So I definitely had to charge off for.
And talk about that a little bit, right? Because I feel like, I struggled with that a lot early on, like survivor's guilt. Right, being someone who, people see the glory. They don't see, I'm up 4 in the morning. I go to bed probably 11 midnight, right? So you're talking 3-4 hours of sleep a night. You talking about like I go hard.
That's a fact.
And so when people see, the level of success, they might, you next to this person or you doing this.
They think you hit the lotto.
Right. And so there was this level of survivor's guilt. And so how do you manage that though? How do you manage being okay, accepting your blessings, and having those people who have been, or have been around, who you like, damn, I want you to cut, but you're not putting in the work.
I forgot the actor, but he said like, a lot of people, like no matter how good, no matter how bad you want something for somebody else, if they don't want it, you can't do it for them. But he said it's in reverse, like. The bad can bring you down. You know what I'm saying? So like for me, like I'm Muslim, so like I don't impose what I believe on anybody. I started getting more in touch with my deen, my faith, and I understood that not only, was it a culmination of me putting in the work, but it's me, like Muslims believe like praying a lot is like basically put money in the bank. That's why they pray so much. That's why you pray so much. You know what I mean? Like the more you pray, the more you stack them prayers up. So as I'm stacking up these prayers, as I'm putting in the work, as I'm like you said, like getting up 4 in the morning, I don't know if anybody had to boil water to take a bath before. I've had to do that, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know if everybody knows what it is to be in the elevator and have to pick your daughter up because you don't want to step in and piss. You know what I'm saying? For me, that was enough for me to get up and say, let me do it. So if you standing next to me and if you're not motivated by like the harsh circumstances that you're not in control of, I can't help who my mother was, who my father was, the neighborhood I was born in, but I don't feel sorry for myself. I don't make no excuses. I really, to the T, played the cards I was dealt. That's why I left the street alone. Because I would have been the person like, oh, I'm not gonna tell. I'm gonna just sit here for 25 years. And I understood that my life was worth more than that. So I am motivated by the unfortunate circumstances to do the opposite. And if it's a lot of brothers and sisters we got with that mindset, not that place, but that mindset that don't understand that, and they think that you got it, I should have it. No, you can have it too if you work for it, and I'll show you how to get it. But I'm not going. I ain't like I have children. I ain't raising no men and women out here. No grown men and women out here.
And you know, I'm gonna get to the lag. I know it's supposed to be a speed round.
I'm sorry.
I know it's supposed to be a speed round, but nah, we
ain't
need
seen
more.
each other in a while either. So you know what I mean?
But do me a favor, dispel a money myth, right? Because I know. I mean, coming from where we come from, there's like, yo, money don't go on trees. You got to work hard for money. What's the dice game? Scam money don't make money, right? Dispel a money myth for something that, you know, people think, or you might have thought coming up, or people think about money that's not really true.
A million. The word a million, ever since we were children, has been marketed to us like it is this amazing number. It's this amazing number that means that if you can get to 1 million, that you won't have no more problems in life, and that is not true.
Oh, facts, talk to him.
That is not true, dog. That is not true. Just off the simple fact of, for people who want to be in the music business, because that's my profession, when people be saying, yo, I got 1 million streams, that is nothing if you dropped that song last year. If you did 1 million streams in a week, yeah, you got some fire. But if it took you a whole year to get and that's the problem, that number. The people see that number and say, so they don't do the business and say, it takes 1,500 for it to count once. Like 1,500 people to play it for it to count to one sale. So 1,500 plays counts to one sale. You did 1 million. What you did? You ain't did shit.
Exactly.
So a deal, like, if somebody gives you 60 bands, it's going to take you 70 million streams to recoup. You know what you got to do to get 70 million streams, dog? You better shucking and jiving all types of silly shit. So the number 1 million. Because I remember, and I know it's speed round, but Beanie Siegel said this in front of me, and I was popped. Like, he was talking with a couple people. He's like, man, $1 million ain't nothing. And I was like, nigga, $1 million ain't nothing. I was like, $50, it takes me $100 to get from this week to next week. How $1 million is not nothing? But he started talking about his lifestyle and, you know, he lives in this type of house and the water bill and this bill and my mom this and that. And by the time I get $1 million, I really only got like 200 for taxes and all that. Get that number, and it's dependent upon what profession you're in. But that number 1 million, do not get fooled by that, because that shit will have you fooled.
All right, last but not least, trust account, right?
All right.
A trust account is where you take your assets, you put the money in the trust account, you protect it, you grow it. You know, where you are right now, you're, you know, inside the vault. Our trust account are the people or the mindset that we use to protect us, that, you know, that helps us grow. Who or what mindset would you say is in your trust account?
Man, whose mindset? I mean, it's typical, say my family. But I'm gonna go out on a limb, because everybody knows how much I love my family, and they can't feel no way about me saying this. Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant, man. Anybody that knows me knows that I'm a triangle offense.
If you know,
it comes from Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, the concept of Phil Jackson being a coach. I looked at myself as more of a Phil than a Kobe or a Mike. Career-wise, I say, I'll say Kobe Bryant. That Mamba mentality, not to shoot with five, not to take the worst shot with 4 people was on you, but to just be willing to be daring. You know what I mean? Like I'm not scared to. Like, I'm not scared to pick up and get out of my comfort zone. Now, I'm not scared to try new things. I'm not scared to put myself out there. I'm not scared to be me, because I'm comfortable with me. So I say, like, that Mamba mindset.
Dope. All right, y'all. We got the living legend, Wayno, in the building. I mean, man, I wish you could announce, but it's all good, though. It's all good. It's good. The world will know soon.
We might have to do a little. We could do a little quick part 2, 15 minutes. You know, Kanye adding to his album. Let's add to the episode. Let's do a little 20 minutes. Add to the episode. You know me? Let's do something like that one day. Once I done.
Yep. All right, cool. And so, if people wanted to connect with you, where can they find you?
You can find me Wayno119 on everything. That is Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, PS5. If y'all play 2K online, I made it the greatest all-time league. I'm very, very nice, so if you want smoke, you let me know. You can find me Wayno119 on LinkedIn, on anything. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, but yeah, Wayno119.
Look, the living legend, my guy, Wayno Clark, man. Yo, another awesome episode of Inside the Vault with Ash Cash. We are closing out the vault. Make sure you follow us on all social media platforms at Inside the Vault. Follow me, Ash Cash, at I am Ash Cash. And I'll see you next time on the greatest money mindset show on the planet, Inside the Vault, in God's will. All right, y'all. Peace.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You want Ash Cash, you can catch it right here in the vault.